Hey, how's everybody doing? I am so glad to be here. My second night of Jax Guests. It is going to be every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's my time zone here in Michigan. So thank you to those of you that are here. I appreciate it greatly. Oh gosh, tonight's going to be fun. Tonight we have super special guest, super great friend of mine, super important person in my journey on LinkedIn, on these audio events. Professionally, he's helped me. He has been an inspiration for a book that I've been in. He's been an inspiration for me learning how to connect and hype with certain people that I didn't really know I even needed to connect with. So, in just a few minutes, I am going to bring up the most amazing person ever called Damian Kinsey. So, he will be joining us in just a minute. So, thank you. I see we've got a couple people joining already from YouTube. So, I'm so glad you're here. Bill and Ernest and Nicole. And oh my gosh, Charles was first already trying to speak in his extra language, which I'm just not able to concentrate on that right now. But thank you for being here. Damian, of course, is here. And if you see LinkedIn user, that is probably going to be him. So he's in the background right now. He's going to let me just do a little introduction and then we're going to get him right on stage, guys. Damian has hosted me multiple times on different events that he does. And I think it was time to turn the tables on him. So I'm super excited that you guys are here. I'm super ready to get him in front of you guys. There's been a couple questions for him and I have a couple questions, but I wanted to share for you. If this is one of your first times getting to watch me, if you don't know me really, but you joined today to talk to Damian or to see him live, I want to let you know a little bit about me. So by day, I run a nonprofit and I focus on crime and conflict all day long. Today was an extra long one. And guys, we're still falling out of a full moon. Let me just tell you, it was a long day. It can be a very tough time for a lot of people when the moon is at stake, when it's the beginning of the week, it's the end of the week. There's extra stuff that's going on in people's worlds. And so I just want to acknowledge that for anybody that's hurting tonight a little bit more than normal. Anybody that's struggling financially or with some of the different changes going on in the world or with your personal profession or your family, please know that you are loved and you are worthy. Take some time right now to just relax and enjoy a conversation that you don't have to do much thinking on. You can be in your jammies. You could be trying to fall asleep while we're doing this. You can also watch this on replay. So if you are team replay, feel free to send us messages if we missed out on what you had questions on as well. I see Christy and Paul and Melissa and Richard are here tonight. So great to see so many of you guys. It feels almost like we're like a big comfy family when we see people. So thank you very much for that. I don't know if I've shared enough about some of my thoughts in regards to my side businesses. So Tripping with Jax is all about travel. It's about trying to get out of your comfort zone, see other places and go other places. So for me, part of that travel for me is culture, finding new countries, exploring, seeing how other people live and how they welcome you, or maybe they don't welcome you. And then my other focus is on re-entry. This is Second Chance Month. April is Second Chance Month. And it's a good time to remind people that you are not the worst thing you've ever done. You deserve to have other opportunities. You deserve to come back and start again and have some great mindset. So I would be remiss, and I do want to share this before he gets on stage because I don't want this to be connected with him at all. I'm angry, guys. I'm angry. You can hear the smile in my voice. You can see me smile on camera, but guys, the news today in the United States of what is going on with us shipping humans from America to other countries, horrific prisons, it is not okay. It is not okay. It is not just sending them to prison. It is sending them to concentration camps. If you know anything about me, I am a social justice advocate. I want criminal justice reform. I felt like we were just on the brink of some real great change. And now I have to say there are certain countries I wouldn't trust you going to. As a travel professional, as somebody that hypes women traveling alone, as somebody believes strongly in the conviction of people changing and making better decisions, and now to hear that we are keeping people that are innocent down in other countries' horrific prisons and they are being told they are never going to be let go, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. So if you're struggling, if you're feeling the pain of this, if you're feeling concerned, if you are feeling like, wow, what if my person, my family, my friend, myself, my child might be deported, might be imprisoned. Guys, please take care of your mental health first. Reach out to people that are safe. Make sure there are people that are surrounding you to care about you and to let you vent and share those fears, because, guys, this is real stuff. And so, with that being said, I want you to think this word strong. So sometimes we need reminders. Justice, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you? Is it the same if it was you or your friend or your family versus if it's just some stranger you've never met, or somebody that maybe somebody has talked bad about, or somebody that has different skin color than you, or they worship differently than you? Let's step back and let's think about that, because as we're talking about great things tonight, as we're talking about building relationships, we have a lot of people suffering a lot, and there's a lot of people living in fear. So I am not going to be hyping much about tripping with Jax right now. I am going to put my travel kind of on hold. Actually, you can still reach out individually for me, but you're just not going to be seeing a whole lot of posts about that. I am going to be ramping up a lot on reentry and second choices, second chances, second opportunities, and trying to make sure that we have some safe space to talk about opportunities for this, because, guys, we're all human and we all deserve to work together instead of doing the fighting apart of each other. All right. So now I'm going to switch back to reminding you, I am your mental health hype woman. I am all about taking care of yourself no matter what's going on in your world. But a couple disclaimers: even though I am licensed in the state of Michigan as a social worker, I am not diagnosing, I am not giving you mental health or any kind of medical advice, no matter what I talk about or where I go with some of these discussions as we're talking with or without guests on stage. So keep in mind your safety, your mental health is super important, and you are worthy no matter what's going on in your life. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about some of these tough things and to bring this to light. But I'm also excited to talk about the fun stuff and the exciting stuff, because that helps our brains just kind of go back into a good spot. Now, I have kind of lost track of the comments, so I will go back on some of those when Damien's talking. If this is your first time joining today, I talk for a minute, I bring on a guest or two. After tonight, we will mostly have more than one guest each night. Last week, my first episode was Melissa, because her and I go back on so many things. We do Emotional Women. She was my former coach. We're friends, and I wanted to give her the spotlight that she's given me so many times. And today, guys, I wouldn't be here again. I wouldn't be putting my face and my voice out there so much if Damien was not the inspiration and the encourager that he was. So I am bringing him on tonight and having him in the spotlight, because if you know Damien, which most of you do, he doesn't like to hype himself a whole bunch. He kind of feels like, I can sit in the back seat. Everybody else can do amazing things, and I want to hype them. I'm okay doing it by myself. So, guys, ready or not, I am going to bring the amazing Damien Kizzy up on stage, the person you have been waiting for, the amazing friend of almost all of us, the biggest connector that I know on LinkedIn, and I know a lot of people that connect people together. Mr. Damien, my dear friend, my awesome former co-host, my guru of different summits and different things that I listen to and learn from and get to speak at sometimes. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to Just Jax. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the humbling introduction. Um, saying stuff like, "Yeah, I'm just Damien. I just look at myself as being Damien and just an individual." But I know you said something like, former co-host together. Former means that it's over, and I don't think it's over. We just took a pause and restructured some things. So, more to come with that to figure that thing out. So.
I like how you said that. So it's Monday, my friend. It is a Monday night, way later than I've ever done shows up until last week. And you made it here. I can only imagine that you had a long and busy day, the little full moon and all that. But you made it on stage with me, and I appreciate you so much. So I have three little questions I'd like to ask all of my guests to just jump off with, kind of get us started. And I know you're going to feel free to comment on these as we go. And then there's at least one question that I saw before we went live from Jay that I'd like you to address too. And then you get to hype yourself, okay? So are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. First question. Damien Kinsey, what are two things you are proud of yourself for?
Honestly, I would like to say being able to be somebody who cultivates relationships and pair people with the right people. So that's kind of one, especially on my LinkedIn journey. You going into a digital space, it's like it's like first day of class when you go into it. You're trying to figure out what your network is, the people around you, and building those relationships. And I got a great opportunity to build relationships with you, and also be able to connect people, and also connect people with other people. So I say that's kind of one thing that I'm most proud of. And then the other thing is, getting out of the comfort zone and building the 2350 network. And it was just an idea that we thought about, and you know what? It's one of those things that we said, hey, let's bring it to life and actually do it. And I'm proud that I was actually be able to be co-founder of the 2350 network and also the summits that are in place. So I'm proud of those two things on top of the relationships that I have with like individuals like you, Brenda Lees, Nicole, Nick. There's so many people in there, Dr. Farron, that's part of the network that's there. Christy Lynn is great. She's not part of the network, but being able to meet her, Ernest, and all these people through audio events was so fun. And it also goes right back and threads the needle into, Paul and Charles, into building those relationships. So I would say that. That was a long-winded version of saying meeting new people and building a network.
I love hearing you long-winded because again, I was like, am I going to be pulling teeth for him to hype himself? Because you deserve this, Damien. You deserve the recognition because when we hear what you have succeeded in, it helps us realize of our potential and that we can do stuff like this. And that also we can lean on you and ask you to possibly connect us with other people too. Some of the people I've met through you, I just don't know how long it would have taken or if it would have ever happened for us to kind of cross paths in other capacities. So I thank you so much. So for those of you just joining, Damien just shared two things that he was super proud of, and I am proud of him for so many more than just those two things. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. If you guys have questions for Damien, he is way better than me on keeping up with the comments. And so, you already got another question. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. So, on YouTube, we got a comment already, Damien, too. So you've got a couple questions ahead of you other than mine. So number one, what area are you growing in, Damien?
I'm I'm going to use this as an opportunity to say I'm growing in this area. Um, I was kind of talking to Dr. Farron. I don't really do live events about me, talking about me, and being a guest. I probably can count how many on my hand that I've done. So I think I'm growing and actually having these conversations. Adam Mitchell said, everybody doesn't know what you do. You have to talk about what you do. And a lot of times I'm reluctant to talk about what I do. So
Isn't it interesting how it's so much easier, especially Damien and I kind of started really talking when we connected so much that we had certain things in common professionally. And I think when you do the kind of work he and I have both done in the past, we're so used to helping other people or directing other people to get involved and to be empowered. Sometimes we forget ourselves. So it's funny that he hasn't been a guest that much, and that's a thing he's growing on. So showing him all that love in the comments, guys, is absolutely going to help him realize that people want to hear him as Damien, not just Damien as this host, Damien that runs all these cool programs and summits and educates us all. But you're an amazing person just how you are. So I appreciate that. Okay, my last question before we get to what's came up in YouTube and what's been on before we got here is, Damien, if you could travel anywhere right now, where would you jump into? Where would you go?
where will I go? Is this past, present, or this current landscape of? Okay, so
You
I
you can
would.
do it however you want. How is that?
So if it's now, I would probably want to go to Egypt or probably Italy.
Ooh.
And if there was probably a time period in life, I would kind of travel back to, you know, when my grandparents were young. I know I said that before, just to see how they were. So I would have one of those time period type things, and also I would love to go to Italy or Egypt. So
That is
those are places I would travel. Italy and Egypt, both because of the history and the actual architecture. So I like old buildings, history. I like those things. So I love to get to see those things.
Oh my gosh, Damian. So first of all, I absolutely love that. Second of all, I had asked the same question to Melissa last week, and she talked about Thailand because of elephants. Damien, you know how much Melissa and I talk to each other. I never knew that her and I had that so strongly in common. And now I just learned that you and I have something super strong in common. Now, I don't necessarily have Egypt or Italy at the very top of my travel list, but every time I travel someplace, it's to see something historic or some kind of architecture I haven't seen, if possible. I tend to go to a lot of like older cemeteries. Sometimes they're attached to churches, sometimes they're not. And just to see the workmanship that was in there, how they carved those things and built all that before there was all this Google and YouTube videos on how to, and all these cranes and machinery that could lift and build all that. So I love that about you. And I just learned that we have that as a connection. So I'm so glad you shared that. Yeah, I would love to go to both of those places as well, but it's always interesting to see why people want to go places. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we had a YouTube question, and this was from Mr. Watts, and he is somebody local to me, so I care a great deal about his question because I know the answer, but I know he doesn't know the answer. This question, Mr. Damien, you get this a lot on your Sunday night show. So this question is, how did you come up with the name 2350 Network?
Yeah, so I was sitting in my room and I just was working on math, and no, that's not why. The numbers actually make a lot of sense when I tell you what it is. I actually came up with the 2350 concept, was the effect of it. I didn't come up with the actual name to make it the network. Um, I did a lot. I did virtual wellness experience. My concept and presentation was about the 2350 effect. I had a conversation with Dr. Farron. We was figuring out trying to build out the network, and we had a name already, but wasn't ready to actually use that name. So she said, "You know what? Can we use the 2350 as the name because of the effect?" And I was like, "Sure." And then that's how we came up with the 2350 network. Now the 2350 effect is harder because we kind of brainstormed about 80 different names for the live show, and we finally came up with the 2350 effect. And now getting to the point of it, the 2350 is there's 24 hours in a day, and a lot of people spend a lot of time with the whole we're standing in line, somebody bumps into us, somebody doesn't close the door, someone cuts us off in traffic, someone says a comment to us, and then we get really upset because we humans, and I know you're doing the emotional women. We get emotional as human beings because we have emotions, and then we let that 5 or 10 minutes of that moment disrupt the whole 23 hours and 50 minutes of our day. So the 2350 network is about don't let 5 or 10 minutes to disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. So that's where that concept came from.
I love that so much. So it's kind of
Good
cool.
question.
We are seeing some people say that they like seeing us together again, Damien. That makes my heart happy.
Me too.
So I got a couple more questions real quick for you. Dr. Tanya said she loves Italy. I don't know. You probably already know she's been there, but I didn't know that either. So how cool is that? Um, with what I'm seeing is we've got Trinidad in the house, we've got United States in the house, we just got Australia in the house. I'm excited that this is a global platform, guys. We get to hear people's voices and we get to see other people. Abe says he also wants to go to Egypt. It's on his bucket list. And then he has one more question for you. And then we're going to switch to Jay's question. And then I'm ready for you to hype yourself. Okay. So what motivates you to do what you do on a daily basis, Mr. Damien?
I have this thing that somebody's going to do it. Why not me? So I always look at it from that perspective, and somebody will always trade places with me. So I always go from the space of I want to be able to do as much as I can in the space that I can with the opportunities I got, and I don't want to ever take them for granted. So I know there's people who aren't in my situation, and I'm grateful for that the situation I have and the opportunity I can to help support individuals. So I get motivated by the people around me. I always say like we put a lot of stock in individuals who have these like names, these who's on television, but the people around us are so impactful and motivating that we need to kind of lean on them a lot. So I lean on the people around me in my circle.
Oh, Damien. Guys, if you don't know Damien, if this is one of your first time seeing him actually answer questions and talk a little bit about himself, isn't he amazing? I mean, some of you guys have no idea what our backstory is. I'm going to do a little bit of a plug here for Miss Nick. Um, this book is one of the three that was in a simultaneously launched trilogy, all about people that really use social media to advance themselves and how it's worked. I was in what I like to call the Red Book, and it's all about kind of my journey on LinkedIn and how I really grew. And Mr. Damien knew I was writing in this story. What he did not know is that my chapter was very highly motivated towards him. And it was a thank you to him. And it shared our story, how we actually met in terms of really growing our friendship. Now, Damien is sitting in New York City, correct, Damien?
Yes, I am definitely in New York City.
We have never met in person before, but I tell you, this is one human that I trust more than so many people that I've known for decades, guys. That's the beauty of really connecting with people and really finding value in people that maybe you would have never crossed paths with before. Now, I have Jay's comment up here because Jay told me he probably couldn't make it tonight, but Damien, he's here to see you. And he had a pretty intense question. So, do you mind if I read it out loud to you? Because he posted it before we went live, so I can't scroll to it. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's great. You're putting a lot of pressure on me.
It is because it was a deep question. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I can even read this. Okay. He said, in your personal and professional work life, what do you believe is your biggest challenge and how did you succeed in overcoming that challenge? Follow up is, in being able to succeed, did you have any challenges along the way?
My biggest challenge personally and professionally. That is a very, very good question. I did not prepare for that question, but I'm going to answer that question. So, personally and professionally, I think the biggest challenge overall is continuing to make sure that I understand my motor, meaning that I feel like I'm a big self starter. I have a lot of high energy and I like to kind of get things done and do things. And sometimes people who professionally or personally don't always have the same motor as me. And I understand that. And I have to always be respectful of that. That because it makes sense in my head doesn't mean it makes sense to everybody else. So those were the biggest hurdles when I was younger, early on in my career. I think now it's more so, you know, finding time, space, because I can't do everything. And there's so many things I want to do, but I can't do. So that's a really, really great question, Jay. Thank you for asking that. So when I was younger, it was more so about my motor and um, having everybody else match my motor and understanding that it's not the same. Now it's more so about I can't really do everything, but I have to find the happiness in what I can do.
I say a deep question just had a very deep answer. So, Damien, thank you for really spending time thinking about that and sharing with us because so many people don't I mean, they get caught up in the stress of life, the challenges, kind of the expectations that others have for us. But with you, it feels very self motivated in terms of being able to really reflect on yourself, really figure out what are those motives. And when we self reflect like that, I mean, that's when we really get to see what works for us. What is our impact on other people? And does that feel good having that kind of impact? Because we impact people in both good and bad ways all day long, guys, depending on their perception. And if we have that motive to really do it in a good way, good stuff ends up happening. And when we have those not so good motives, it's a whole different story. So, Damien, before you joined stage, I kind of went in a little bit about some of my social justice concerns and some different things that were announced today. In our world. So I'm not going to really have you go into some of those questions or comments, but Charles had a kind of interesting one that I think we could kind of do in a positive way without just getting kind of deep and dark. And he asked us both if we had to go into jail in another country, what country would we pick to go to jail in? How random of a question, Mr. Charles, is that?
I think that is a real random question. I don't think about what jail I would go and attend. I think if I can go into any jail in any other country, maybe I would go to one in probably maybe somewhere in like Africa and be able to talk to people and get an understanding and pick their brain about what's going on and see how I can best support people who are in situations like that with reentry or support. So I think that would be my answer for that. Charles, I hope that answers that question. These are really good questions that are coming
I
out of.
know, right? It's because they
Yeah.
know that you're willing to deep dive into this, Damien, and I appreciate that so much. So, the way I'm going to answer this question is I would really like to go to one of the countries that look at time out of the community not as necessarily a lock them up and forget about them type of a situation, but let's try to really rehabilitate. And there are countries, guys, that have the lowest crime rate, and they don't have bars or slamming doors that lock behind people on them. And they are more of a community, kind of a jail prison that is more like a home like environment where people actually build relationships and they learn how to make different change without having to be treated like they are unworthy or that they are not deserving of basic human rights. So I would love to go check out some of those facilities, see what I could learn and how we could try to bring some of that back to our communities as well. So, oh my goodness, Damien, we have gotten deep. We have had some information about you as a younger person. We've had some pretty good comments about people seeing us. Noah's talking about Switzerland. Oh, that would be great. I think that would be amazing. I see some more questions in the comments. Are you able to see the questions from YouTube in the comment section, Damien?
Yeah, I'm seeing all three comments that I see the comment by Ave,
Okay.
which what advice would I give my 20-year-old self? I see Melissa, she's asking what is my favorite breakfast, and Dr. Farron is asking about what do we do in our free time, and also what are we gonna do when we first meet each other in person. So any one of those, let me know. I'm ready to go.
Well, I'm going to just jump with the Dr. Farron one first because Dr. Farron, I will not go into 2026 without finally meeting Damien. I don't care if I got to drive into the heart of New York City and spend 6 hours in traffic by myself, not knowing where the heck I'm going. We are going to meet this year. And so that
Traffic is not that bad.
you never know. I've spent about 3 hours in Chicago thinking it was only going to take me an hour and a half. So I am not from a city that has big traffic or tons of sky high buildings. So it will be a trip for me, but I'm going to find him. And I don't even care what we do when we get together. We're going to find each other. So, Damien, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I am going to go off screen for a few minutes. I am going to let you address Melissa and Dr. Tanya's question and Abe's question and talk after those questions about anything else you want to share about you. I want you to look if there's any other comments you want to share. And then you let me know when you're ready to come back, have me come back on screen. How's that sound?
Hey, I'm good. I'm flying solo right now, I
I
guess.
love it. I love it.
All right, so we had a few questions. I'm definitely willing to answer. So, Dr. Farron's question was, I think, you know, meeting a meeting in person probably the end of this year. Hopefully, we can put this 23 50 retreat together, and we can meet there, and that'll be a great spot to meet. And in my free time, I do a lot of reflecting. I watch television, and I like doing walks and whatnot. And I'm getting really, really, really invested in seeing some of the things in New York City that I haven't really seen before or haven't seen in a while because I have moved back to New York. So I'm excited about that particular space and opportunity. And then Melissa asked the question: breakfast food. My go-to thing is either waffles or pancakes. I like waffles, pancakes, or smoothies. So those are my particular breakfast foods that I like. You know, if a pancake is made really, really well, you do not need syrup, and that's the same thing with waffles. So, fun fact for me. And then the last question I had on here was Abe asked, "What would advice would I give my younger self? Play Powerball." No, seriously, it's not play Powerball. I would spend a little bit more time with loved ones who have passed on, and have those conversations and learn a little bit more about them and get some of those family recipes and those family secrets that I took for granted. I would kind of spend more time with loved ones who are no longer here. So that would be my thing I would do and tell my 20-year-old self and say, you know what, everyone gets to their space and place at their own time. So that's what I would say. Oh, Christy, you have a question as well. This is definitely different. Me sitting here answering questions. And yes, pancakes, Melissa. Yes, yes, yes. Christy, what are you most looking forward this year? Christy, I am definitely looking forward to us getting these components and pieces together, building this out, and having this 2350 retreat because I want to see so many people in person, and this will give a great opportunity to get everybody to get most people, a lot of people together in one space. Myself, Felipe, Marcia, and Ann did a and Grace did a live together, and we met up and did a meetup in DC. I think that was so much fun meeting people in DC and that opportunity. So I think meeting people in person it'll be some great opportunity for this year. So I'm looking definitely forward to that. All right. What is my favorite current TV show? I'm going with the Chicago series, Felipe. Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD. Right now, those are my favorite shows that I'm really into right now. So I'm going with those right now, Felipe. You now you got to do me a favor, Felipe. Tell me what you're really into, what you're watching right now, and send that back to me. What's your favorite show? Because it's probably some of those shows that I really do like. But if I had to say my favorite, those would be my three: the Chicago series, Chicago PD, Med, and also Chicago Fire. So those are my thing. What city in New York what do you enjoy more? DC or New York? Listen, I like DC, Maryland, Virginia, the DMV, Zach. It's a nice place. I'm a New Yorker through and through. I'm a homer. I'm always going to go with the home team. I love New York City. I bleed New York always. So I got to pick New York if I have to pick anything because this is where I'm from and where I grew up at. But I do like DC, Maryland, Virginia area. It's beautiful, nice place and fun. And I appreciate my time down there. Okay. Oh, you used to live in Buffalo, Abe? Oh, nice. All right. Oh, okay. NCIS, Law and Orders. If a couple of years ago, it would have been Law and Order for me, Felipe, but I switched over. I'm definitely looking forward to organized crime, Law and Order. That is definitely something I'm definitely looking forward to. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Marcia. You know the great part of actually having this Jackie is this conversation is I get to see so many people who I built so many relationships with through the audio rooms that we haven't been able to build relationships with because there's no more audio rooms and I haven't been seeing people in a while. So I'm so happy to see people. Yes, Ken, I know you from Harlem. I do remember. And, I'm so glad. I don't even know you're in Texas. Kenny, when the last time you've been in New York, So I would love to hear from you about that as well. Last time you've been in New York. Um, yeah. So for me, I am a native of New York City. I grew up in New York City. I had the pleasure to go down to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area for work, and I spent 6.5, almost 7 years down there. And then that was my home and my space. I loved it down there, and I got to meet so many people. And if it wasn't for me actually going down there and working down there, I actually wouldn't have probably met Jackie because a lot of it was me building relationships on LinkedIn and having these connections, and that came from me being in the DMV area. So I'm grateful for that. That actually launched me actually using a digital space. I only have LinkedIn. I don't have any other platforms. So sorry, everybody else. That is not me. If you see somebody with a name like mine, it's not me. And if you're looking for me on social media platforms, you're not gonna find me. I'm only on LinkedIn because I love the relationships that I built with so many people here and individuals, and it's been a great honor. And Jackie, to have this space in this conversation. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, you came back for Christmas, Ken. Yes, that's a real good time to come back because you actually have the tree, the field, the weather, and it's a really good time to actually come back and meet people. No Facebook, no nothing. I haven't nothing else other than LinkedIn. Hey, all right. So Ask any question you want. What is your favorite '80s show? I love Knight Rider. Um, that was definitely a great show, but I have to be honest, it was the Cosby Show. You know, that level of family environment was the thing for me growing up, and it also encouraged a lot of people to go to college. So seeing that family dynamic from people that look like me was a great feel. So it was the Cosby Show for me growing up. All right. So keep throwing the questions in. I'm enjoying these conversations and comments and put it in. And now I'm gonna ask a question from the audience and people there. What is your favorite thing about your LinkedIn experience? So put that down. So, and if you're on YouTube, what is your favorite thing about your YouTube experience? So you ask me questions. It's only right for me to go back and ask you questions as well. What is your favorite experience on LinkedIn and also on YouTube? What is my favorite spot in New York? Is Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm Dr. Farron. I love being from Brooklyn. And it's, to be honest with you, there's a few restaurants that I really like, and I also like the Prospect Park. So those are the big things for me as well. Yes, professionalism is definitely key and important. Yes, I remember that. Oh, Family Ties was a good show too. Yes, that was definitely a good show, Felipe, as well. I'm loving it, like memory lane and thinking and reflecting on so many things. Both parents in the household. Yes, both parents in the household. The professionalism. I agree, Abe. Those are definitely important. The ripple effect and change it. Yes, even we're having this conversation, and I'm looking at the comments. We're talking about television show. We're talking about food. These things bring people together, ignite us, and it also create those ripple effects and spaces. I agree with you. Um, Melissa, the ripple effects, meeting you, getting to know you, coming on your audio rooms, me and Jackie coming on there and seeing how everybody's relationship has grown is so important and great. So I'm definitely happy about what y'all doing with the emotional women, and I'm so happy to actually didn't have the pressure of being the first person on Jackie's live, and I'm coming back after you. So it's really really good to have that conversation opportunity. Meeting amazing people, yes, that is definitely a good one. Um, love those shows, Felipe. Yes, unique people and amazing collaborations. Yes, collaboration is so important. We cannot do nothing by ourselves. And you know, like I haven't met Jackie or Dr. Farron in person, but I've met so many other people in person. Felipe, I've met in person. Nicole, we actually have to meet in person too, since I'm out here. There's so many people I've met in person I want to meet in person. So, yeah. It's only right to turn it back over to the host, Jackie. So, take
Oh,
it
guys,
away.
isn't he amazing? I mean, come on. Not only is he talking and sharing stuff about himself, he's showing you his personality. This man is so intelligent, so professional, but yet he can bounce off from talking about Knight Rider to Cosby Show to all these things at the same time. And this is why you deserve to learn new people. Now, I know some people that will say they have their tight little circle, they're good enough, they don't need to know anybody else. And guess what? If I would have thought about that, I wouldn't know Damien and I wouldn't know half of these people or more in the conversation. We are not meant to just stay stagnant, guys. The one true thing, other than unfortunately, we're all going to die at some time, is that change is constant. We don't know when and if our circle is going to get bigger or smaller. So the more you can have great people in your circle like Damien, the better. And so I really wanted to thank him for taking that time. I know it was not his comfort zone having me ditch him on the screen by himself, but I loved seeing him just rock it, and I knew he would. That's what the show is all about. Now, I wanted to name this at first Just Jax and Friends, but guess what? Some of you guys are not in my friend circle yet because we're just starting to get to know each other, or I've only seen a few comments, or maybe I don't know you at all. You just came here for Damien, or maybe you heard Melissa was on the show last time, or you want to get on stage someday. So we don't know each other. I don't want that to be a reason that you're not on here, because you deserve to be hyped too. Again, my only criteria for being on the show is to show respect. And I mean, how much is Damien showing respect to everybody? I love that he's reading people's comments and he's really checking into it. Now, Damien, do you want to give a little bit of a backstory on how we really kind of connected a little bit stronger than what a lot of people do on LinkedIn? Do you want to share that a little bit?
So we connected a lot through so those people on one hand, you know that it came from showing up on holidays. So Jackie actually had a Zoom. I showed up on the Zoom, and then we realized that we already realized we had things in common, but it's different when you have a conversation with somebody. And then we had this kind of one-on-one dialogue, and it felt like we were like known each other forever, and we were just having this conversation and just speaking. And then we talked about doing a live event, and we started to talk about it was supposed to be reentry, recidivism, and restorative because a lot of the kids and families at that time I was working with and she was working with, parents were going through that process. So that's what it originally was supposed to be about. And then we thought about so many people in the social service, human services industry was losing that level of their purpose, their passion. So we called it finding your purpose at work, long title, cut that work part and just kept it on finding your purpose. And then we did this live event on finding your purpose, and we talked about boundaries. And the boundary conversation took so long; it was a 2.5 hour conversation. And if you know me and Jackie, we do our lives audio events. It's an hour. It might be an hour and 10, hour 15. We're not going 2 hours, let alone 2.5 hours. That thing went 2.5 hours. It was so many great shares. I think that's the room that had like 100 people in it.
Yeah.
It was 100 over 100 people in it, and we did that room. And then to the point where we were having a conversation, and Jackie was like, "Let's just open it up, and I'm just gonna do a live tomorrow." It was either tomorrow or the next
It
day.
was the next day.
It was the very next day called Wishful Wednesday. And that room, I, you know how people say it has like a following to it, a vibe, or energy that is like no other. Finding Your Purpose had that as well, but Wishful Wednesday was something different. And when we did Wishful Wednesday, it was like, wow, this thing that was created by Jackie to say, hey, let's have this conversation around letting people come in with their wish, their hopes, their dream, and it's so impactful because that book that's behind you, I believe on your left side, the other one on the bottom on the left side, it had several other authors in it talking about Wishful Wednesday besides you. So that is definitely when our relationship took to the next level when we did Finding Your Purpose and Wishful Wednesday. We would talk all the time, communicate, and that's what kind of happened.
So I kind of alluded when I made the event on LinkedIn that there might be a little bit of a surprise that we announce. Is it time to announce it or should we wait another few minutes? What are your thoughts?
No, I think it's time.
Is it time?
Yeah, well, or we can, yeah.
Oops, wrong one. Sorry, Damien. That was me. Here we go, guys. You want to share it, Damien?
Yes, we are definitely back with Wishful Wednesday, um, starting April 30th, which, if you don't know anything about Wishful Wednesday, is the last Wednesday of the month, which that is it, 8 p.m. And I thought about what you said earlier, being on 9 p.m. The only other time that we ever had a 9 p.m. was when we pushed Wishful Wednesday back
Oh, that's
to
right.
9. So I am looking forward to the hopes, the dreams, the Wishful Wednesday on a live event. Me and Jackie, it's going to be a little bit different with a different little twist to it. But all in all, Wishful Wednesday back at the end of this month.
Guys, I am so excited. I mean, if you're looking at some of the comments right now from LinkedIn, it made an impact. It wasn't Damien and I making an impact. We held this space and we said anybody that wanted to come on stage, as long as you be respectful, you're not shaming anybody else. This is your chance to hype yourself to asked for help. We had people that needed help with attorneys or some different guidance on their businesses. We had tickets given away for free for different events to help people. People gave away coaching sessions. People followed each other's businesses, or they hyped each other in a post because they just never met each other before. It was such a surreal experience that Damien and I felt when LinkedIn took the audio away. So some of you guys, especially if you're watching on YouTube and you really haven't been involved in audio events, Damien and I used to do everything where you just heard our voices and you saw our little profile picture. You didn't see our faces. You didn't see us in real time like this. You heard our voices in real time. And it was really easy to bring people up on stage, and you wouldn't see their faces either. You would just hear what their words were. And it was something that was just really cool that we could make sure that people had a space, because people are hurting, guys, and we realize that. And when that boundary show was on, people were talking not just about boundaries at work or different things that they've experienced professionally. They were talking about boundaries in their own family and boundaries with people in different spaces that they had to be. So it was really eye-opening to us. We had some very young viewers that would join in with their families, and they would talk about their wishes. We had wishes for animals not to be hurt, and we had birthday wishes for people. It was such a cool experience that Damien and I were both just like, how do we do this? How do we do this on the new format? He and I both had some really busy life changes and experiences over the last few months, and we finally just said, let's just try it. And we're going back, guys. The last Wednesday of April will be our very first show, and it will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So some of you in different time zones or in different countries, we don't know if you'll be able to still join or not. You guys can always do the replay. You can send in some wishes that you want Damien and I to read out loud. You can do it privately to message us. If you say, don't tell my name, we don't share your name with anybody. If you're like, hey, I'm looking for a new job, can you please shout out my name? I'm looking in the industry of IT, or I'm looking in the industry of hotel management. We will definitely share your name, or we'll put that comment in the feed for you as well. So there's a lot of opportunity, guys, for you to get involved and for you to meet great people. So Damien, thank you so much for being willing to go back on stage and do this one again.
Yes, thank you so much as well. I love Wishful Wednesdays. It's so amazing. Like people actually built relationships. We had people build like connections and create businesses together. It was just it was definitely a great space and place. So also
See, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought I could just add it to be ready at the end. I'm still learning this whole tech thing, guys. Damien's a pro, and he kind of taught me a lot of stuff, but he didn't remind me that sometimes my brain and fingers don't follow the rules of this StreamYard, and I got to do it myself. So sorry about that little glitch. Damien, we had a couple other comments and we had a couple
okay.
other questions for you. But I want to make sure, did you feel comfortable hyping yourself enough? Was there anything else you wanted to talk about or share or anything like that that I didn't get to for you?
Oh, real quick, I'm definitely, as you can see on the screen, I am the co-creator, co-founder of the 2350 Network and the Work-Life Balance Summit. The Work-Life Balance Summit is coming up in October. It, it we've had 26 different people present, so many different people present in this particular space. It's about health, wellness, and work-life balance. So yes, it's a 2 day virtual summit space, and we've done it. And this will be our third work life balance summit. So, this was a thing that Dr. Farron came up with, and it's growing and it's only getting bigger. So, join us for the work life balance summit. Go to creativelivingideas.com, which is on the screen. Dr. Farron, if you have time, can you please put the link in there if you're still with us. And it's a great space. It's affordable, and we created it kind of to have that opportunity for people to get professional development on the same level that we get for affordable with so many different presenters in space. So the early bird tickets, I believe, is like $75 ish. So they do go up. So get your tickets early for the Work Life Balance Summit. Jackie has presented. She's also brought her team to it. So I think it's a great opportunity to get your ticket. And we're also looking for presenters for the Work Life Balance Summit. And then the last thing I'll say, because so we can get back to those questions, is The yes is a link, Abe. We're gonna definitely put it in there so you can get it. The last thing is the 2350 network. I am a member of the 2350 network. We talked about it earlier. It is definitely a networking space place that we put together and designed for people to meet each other. We have a virtual campus that is open 24 hours, and it's all about building those positive relationships and building with people around you. There's a website. There's so many things that goes to it in building a network. If you want more information about that, reach out to me and becoming a member of the 2350 network. Jackie's a member of the 2350 network. Um, Nick is a 2350 network member. Leslie Flowers is a 2350 network member. Brenda Lees, Christy. These are just people off the top of my head who are part of the network who are definitely in this particular chat right now. And we do have a membership page where you can click, go on to it, get information, and also let us know what you're looking for. We want to make sure that it's a good fit for you and a good fit for us as well. So I put the link in there as well. And also connect with us on the 2350 Network LinkedIn page as well. So,
Definitely. You
so
know, there's just so much good with you, Damien. I want
thank
to
you.
the 2350 network a bit as well. I have been in it since the start. It was a very easy decision to join with knowing the work that Dr. Tanya and Damien did with the summits and the experiences and the friendships that we have developed through all of that. But what happened is when I got in the 2350 network, it was a whole different vibe. So even though we're all still friends and we're still professionally talking and everything, it shows how much other people want to hype you, not for personal gain. I have been in other business communities. I think there's quite a few people in the comments that have been in different business communities. And there's a lot of, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you promote your post, I'll promote yours. This doesn't happen in the 2350 network. It's like, hey, how can we support you? That's it. Not, oh, but you better support me too. We do book clubs. We do leadership discussions. We do, let's have just a chit chat night and let's talk about something fun and let's get to know each other. It's an opportunity to gain both professionally, but also personally. And it's something that every time we get a new member that joins, I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought they were already here because they just feel like they fit in so well and they've been a part of us. So definitely check into it. You can reach out to Damien or Dr. Tanya for more information. They also have a LinkedIn page for the 2350 network as well. Sometimes they just post different events that are available for the community. They talk about the different experiences and summits coming up, and then they will hype some of us and they'll share some of our posts and different things that we have going on. So it's pretty cool to be part of it. It's still a growing group. So it's not like you're going to go in there and get lost amongst so many people that they won't remember who you are. So I can't speak highly enough about it. And Damien, I appreciate the effort that you take, Dr. Tanya, and you do a show a lot of Sunday nights. Sometimes it's every Sunday, sometimes it's every other, every third one. And you bring such fun topics to help people elevate their game, even if they're not part of the actual group of the network. So thank you guys for doing all of that.
And thank you. You did make me think about something. Um, you have to come to our social, Jackie, whoever's a 2350 member, make sure you come to our social. Um, we're having in May our social network night. We have a theme. It's a movie theme. That's all I can tell you.
Well, after all those movie and TV show comments, I think there's some people in this chat that would probably really fit well with that.
It is going to be fun. It's a movie theme. So in our 2350 campus, so if you're a 2350 network member, and you're watching right now, don't forget, put that on your calendar to come to May's social network event. It's a movie thing. It's going to be so much fun. We have so many things. That's all I can say. It is definitely a must put on your calendar.
I love that
Hey,
so much.
Noni.
I know she says replay, but we get to say hi to her real quick before we get off here. Damien, any last words before you get to be dropped down to enjoy the rest of your night without being on video?
Well, my last words is this. Hey, I don't really like talking about myself a lot and making it about me. That's not what my goal objective is. I did have a good time having a conversation. I walked in here not knowing what to talk about, what this experience was going to be, and you made it so easy for me to and effortless by having me. And everybody in the audience who has asked a question, made a comment, laughed, joked, put a celebration up, and kind of get engaged in this conversation, made it so easy and fun for me. I thank you all, because anybody who knows me, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want to have a conversation about me, unless I have no choice but to make it about myself. But I do appreciate everybody. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Abe, for asking questions. No need for coming on Team Replay. Dr. Farrington, Felipe, Melissa, Nick, Christy, Christine, who else? Marcelo. Who else? Bill, Charles, of course,
Jay.
Ernest,
Hmm.
Abe, Jay, LA. Thank you all for making this so much of a good experience and asking so many great questions.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And I do believe one of the terms Mr. Damien told me early on was your people will show up. They will
Yeah,
show up for you. And look what they did tonight, Damien. I appreciate you guys. I mean, the fact that you guys came for Damien, the fact that you came to support the show, it means a lot. It means more than some people realize. If you've never done one of these kind of shows, it does take a lot of kind of prep work, but it also takes some guts to get your face on in front of everybody that could live out forever on different shows and YouTube and LinkedIn. And Damien was willing to do that. And I don't even think he even paused when I asked him to be a guest. So, Damien, thank you so much. You know how much I truly care about you and can't even hype you enough if I had 72,000 hours to do it. So, thank you, my friend. I can't
thank
wait
you.
to see you April 30th, Wishful Wednesday. If you missed it, we're coming back 8 p.m. April 30th, the last Wednesday of the month. So join us for Wishful Wednesday. I am going to drop you down real quick, Damien, and then I am going to share some other updates. Bye, Damien. We'll see you in a
All
sec. Okay, so second show, two amazing guests. Next week is going to have at least two amazing guests. Both of them have been in the comments tonight, guys. Anybody want to guess? Put your name down there that you think might be two of the guests next time. And we may even have a third special guest that I might not even tell you guys about until we see if they show up or not. So you guys got to hear a lot of stuff tonight. You got to learn about the amazing Damien Kizzy. If you want to come on stage, if you want to hype your business, you want to just get to know people and let them see your face. Guys, this is what this show is about. It is about getting to network in a way that builds your friendship base, your relationship base, your professionalism. Who knows, it could lead to other things as well. But this is not a show to only pick certain people that I know or that I connect with. It's to pick people that want to get on this show. So if you want to join Just Jax Guests, you have to connect with me, message me, follow YouTube, put a message on there, do something so I can make sure that you are interested in doing this. As long as I know you're going to be respectful on the show, that means you're not going to be being rude to somebody, trying to marginalize people, being disrespectful to other humans or human groups. You're welcome to be on this stage. But guys, I am booked out until Memorial Weekend. So please, please. Ooh, somebody might have just got the name right. I'm only seeing a couple guesses so far, but one of them has the name right. So thinking about it, think about why you would want to come on the show. Because I want you, but get your name in there. Usually there will be two guests on the show, so you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I got to spend a whole hour with her, or I got to answer all these questions as fast as Damien did. You can come on for as short or as long of time as we're allotted during that time, depending on who else is there. So, okay, I'm going to share next week, April 21st, guys. We have none other than Nick, my publisher, one of the publishers I've had. I've done 4 books. And do you know Damien is one of the only persons that I know that actually bought my very first anthology that I was in? I mean, that again just tells you what a great person he is. She's amazing. You're going to love her. And the other amazing person, I don't know how Ave actually guessed this, but it is Bill, guys. Bill is going to be here with me next week. He's in a different time zone so for him it's a little earlier at night. So we'll probably let Nick go first because she's Eastern time like me, and we get sleepy at a Monday night like that. So join us. I'll be posting the event for that real soon, and then I'll also post the event for Wishful Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hyping Damien with me. Still send him some love. Feel free to put some more messages out there. Feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn if you haven't. I think the most of LinkedIn has connected, but make sure to connect with him. Connect with me also if you haven't met me. Please follow my YouTube channel. I want to grow it for the people that are not able to be on LinkedIn or they got to catch it later. And I really want to make sure that you're highlighted in your hype so that the more people that get onto the YouTube page, the more your information will be spread out there too. So I am so thankful to have had you guys here on Just Jax. For those of you that joined late, if you want to go back in the replay, I did get a little hot and heavy about some of the world issues going on right now, because I would be remiss to not acknowledge that in Second Chance Month with all the work we do with social justice and criminal justice. And I want to make sure that if that is important to you and it's a focus of you, that you know there's some safe spaces as well. I also want to make sure that you know that your voice is important, no matter how many people have told you to be quiet or that it was not important. Make sure that you follow the Emotional Women, the page in business with Melissa Houston and I. We do have our next event will be coming up. We'll be doing a live together as well. And that will be on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Her time out in the state of Washington. And that will be on Sunday. I believe it's the 27th. It's the last Sunday of the month. So we will have an event for that. We'll get an event for Wishful Wednesday. We'll get an event for the show for next Monday. I can't wait to see you all. Oh, I got to put this up real quick. There's Bill. Hard act to follow after Damien. I believe whoever's coming next after Bill is going to probably say the exact same thing, my dear friend Bill. So guess what, guys? Y'all are awesome. I would not do this show if I didn't have your guys' support and understanding. So thank you all. Have a super great night, whether it's your morning, your evening, however you're doing this. Please take care of yourself, and we'll see you next Monday, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next Just Jax and Guest. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate you greatly.